bought a franchise. We bought a franchise. We bought a franchise.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the We Bought a Franchise podcast. I'm Jack Johnson.
I'm Jill Johnson.
And today we have Jill. I'm so excited about these guests.
Very exciting.
We have Daniel and Ethan Boone from HB Protein Smoothies. Am I saying, is it HB Protein Smoothies?
Yeah.
We are so excited to talk to you. And of course, we have our great team of franchise owner, franchise consultants, starting with Morgan Noller, Carolina Arosa, Brian Gross, David San Juan is back. Hey, David. Jay Arosa is here. Let's dive in. Everyone, this is so exciting. So Daniel and Ethan, let's get started. Tell us all about this concept. How did you get started into this? And maybe tell us a little bit about yourselves and about HB Protein Smoothies.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Arizona. My goal is to live to be 120. The body can go to 120 years, and you don't really have to do a lot of crazy things to maintain what I think is a pretty balanced, healthy life. So before I got into the smoothies, for 25 years, I did the furniture business. And then when I went in and tried a smoothie one time at a shop, I thought, oh, this is good, but I think I can make it better. And I wanted to pivot because the largest segment of our population in the United States are the baby boomers. There are like 75 million of them. And so I thought, well, they're going to be spending money on probably three of the biggest areas: health, beauty, and travel. So I like all those, but I thought, well, what can I do that people would also consume every day? And so we, Ethan and I talked, and I said, I want to make the best protein smoothie. That's what I want to do. I want to make something that when people come in, and when you guys come in, you'll see the same thing. When people try it, they're very surprised that it's such low calorie, which is about 250 calories. It's packed with 35 grams of protein. It's balanced with vitamins and minerals. The typical amount of fat is way less than 3%. The carb content and the sugar content is extremely low. And I wanted to make something that when people drank it, they didn't have to feel, oh, I got to be healthy now, so I got to chug down something that's chalky and powdery and it doesn't taste good. So it took us a while to perfect this formula that we blend with water and ice. And that is really hard to do. And it took us a while to get there, and we finally got there. So that's one of the main reasons you can keep them so low in calories, and you can keep it, with all the vitamins and minerals. But not only that, they blend so well, they're like ice cream. So it's like you're drinking a treat. It's like you're drinking an ice cream. And so I figured that when people, they try things, we're all about taste. I mean, that's why even a lot of the fast food places, that they may not have a lot of healthy options, but if they taste good, they just keep eating them. And we came up with something that we think is fitting really well into the momentum of what's happening in our whole society. So with that, I spent time working with Ethan, perfecting everything. And we're constantly always improving, and there's always things in the pipeline. But they're just awesome. They're really good. And I know Ethan wants to tell a little story.
When I was 16, my dad asked me what I thought about opening up a smoothie shop. And so we were talking about that for a while, and I like the idea a lot. So I worked there for 2 years in high school. Then I moved to Hawaii, worked in hospitality for around a year, came back, did some bartending, and then I decided to go to pilot school. And then around that time, we were talking, we're like, hey, how do we grow this, just me and my dad, to like 5 or 10 corporate stores? And then around that time, we got an email from Dan Rowe. And so we met with him, and he had this vision, HB should be a 1,000-store brand, which was really cool to hear. So we liked Dan a lot, and then decided, to partner with him on that. And so we're both really excited for the journey.
Well, and what we didn't know was that his wife, Teresa, and son had already been coming in for several years. We didn't connect them. So he was already familiar with these protein smoothies that taste great, because we have a very high loyalty rate with people. Once they come in, they come in. And a lot of people, they'll come in, like I'm amazed, they'll come in 4 or 5 days in a row during work because they're in the area maybe. And I think about it and I'm like, we're all consumers. And I'm like, there isn't any place I even go to 5 days a week. but I mean, you know, right? You're not going to go eat a chicken sandwich 5 days in a row. Some people might, but most people won't. And so when they come in, once they try it, then they're hooked. And they're typically their biggest response. The first thing we get is, how does this taste so good? Like a coffee ice cream flavor we make. And it tastes like a coffee ice cream shake. And they're like, how does it taste so good? How does it taste with the right sweetener? How does it come across where you're like, wow, this is really good? And that's where we were able to create a lot of our powder formulas that are sugar-free. They're stevia sweetened. They're organic flavorings, like maybe it's butterscotch or caramel or birthday cake or whatever flavors we create. And then we're able to make all these protein smoothies. We do about a solid 20 to 25 flavors. Each location can definitely do more than that. But let's say one of the most popular ones would be salted caramel or banana cream pie, or what we call a chocolate banana peanut butter, the staple that everybody loves. So when people come in and try those, what they'll do, and we get lots of ideas from customers, they'll get the banana cream pie, and then they'll go, can I throw peanut butter in there? The peanut butter we use is all powder. It's an organic peanut butter, so it only adds about 2 grams of cane sugar. It might add about another 15 calories or so. So it's still very minimal, but I would say probably 30% or more of every shake has peanut butter. Like peanut butter is really.
Sorry to interrupt you. Is that like a PB2 style?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, we use PB2. We just buy it in the bulk. So It's very clean, it's organic and nice.
I know everybody's probably dying to ask questions. I have one question and I'm going to shut up. But my first, are there different types? Like if I come in and I say, hey, do you guys have, whey protein? Or if there's maybe someone who's vegan, are there different types of proteins that you guys offer?
Yeah. So the base for everything is a whey protein. There are some people who they can't have whey, or they don't want it or whatever. And then we do have an organic list. You'll get about 7 flavors out of that, because when you go with an organic plant-based protein, the difficult thing is to get it to blend like ice cream. And so like we'll have a solid, like I said, 20 to 25 flavors. Of that, you'll get about 6 choices, but they're amazing choices. All of the shakes, though, even the whey protein ones, every single one is all gluten-free. So that covers most people. That's a big question they'll have. And so that has worked out really good.
Yeah, and they're good for anyone that's diabetic as well.
Is the protein grass-fed by chance?
It is not grass-fed.
Okay.
The organic is, but not the organic choices are grass-fed. The other ones, the whey protein's not.
Excellent.
Great question, though.
I mean, I'm excited. Jack and I how long have we been doing our shakes?
Easily.
Like at least 10 years consistently.
2016. Yeah.
We're so excited for you guys and for this concept.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. And I think to your point is that recurring revenue, the people coming in every day. When Starbucks just introduced their protein, everyone's really excited, but they're full of sugar and they're really high in calories. And so, there were so many people saying, oh, now I'm going to go to Starbucks every day and get my protein, but it's not actually healthy. So I love that you guys have the low calorie, the low sugar, like that's really, really important. Is there, for people that are like on very strict diets, are you like, do you guarantee each one, like could it be that someone adds too much peanut butter powder and the calories go up? Like, are they all pretty consistently around the same calorie content, sugar content?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So the only way you're going to get more calories and sugar content in any of the protein smoothies we make is if you add a lot more PB2, the peanut butter. So, and some people want that, but even if you added 2 heaping tablespoons, you're still not going to exceed 300 calories in the entire shake. And what's interesting is all of the protein smoothies, they're formulated to be a meal. It's not super sexy to market it that way because we haven't figured that part out. But that's what they are. So what happens is people will come in, especially the first time, and they'll drink it. They come back the next day and they'll go, you know what? I drank that at noon and I wasn't hungry until later on at night. And there's no crash. So that's what protein does. That's why protein, people are really realizing more and more. And nobody for the most part, is getting enough protein in their diet. The demand and need for protein even increases as we get older, the need for it. But also if you're active, because protein, and this is why all these places, like you said, Starbucks and everybody else, I saw Chipotle do it. Everybody's offering extra protein options. And that's because that is a trend. So when people, we have an obesity problem in our country, and it's an epidemic. It's not even small. It is an epidemic. Well, one of the greatest ways to start first, if they're not going to start moving their body and exercising, which you want to do, is you got to get protein. So the more protein you get, it's a fundamental building block, not just for muscles. It's for your ligaments, for your hair, for your skin, for your nails. Protein is needed in the body. And when people get more protein and you build more muscle, then your metabolic rate just starts increasing. So you'll start to burn more calories doing nothing just by increasing protein. And that's, I know that a lot of people may not realize that. They go, oh yeah, I need more protein. And so they'll go to these places and try them, whatever it is, at other, fast food places. The big thing I see when you go to a lot of the fast food places and you order the number one combo, we all know those places. You're talking about 1,100 calories. You're talking a tremendous amount of fat. And ours are all less than 3 grams of fat at the very most. You're talking a lot of carbs, and you're talking a lot of sugar. That is the biggest problem, because in our whole society, we've become really inundated with consuming a tremendous amount of carbs. And all those carbs, for the most part, turn into sugar. So the lower that you can make all those, the better off people are. And they don't really there's not a lot of great options across the country. If you're out running around all day, do you want to go eat a greasy burger and then feel tired? And so, like this is the one I'm drinking still right now. It's a banana cream pie. And I put in mine, I pack it heavy, meaning today I added peanut butter, but I always add hemp seed and chia seed. I put in creatine and I put in vitamin C. That's what I like in mine. So those options are available at every location. The hemp seed's organic, the chia seed's organic. We always try to source everything that's organic.
That's great. And so interesting. It just saw like 36 noodles and companies closing today. I mean, it's Kennedy flips the food pyramid upside down, and here comes HB Protein Smoothies, and out goes Noodles and Company. But team, I'll open it up to you guys. What questions do you all have?
Yeah, so I have a question. So it sounds like, again, the fact that you guys have all these different flavors. So taste is it sounds like differentiator for you guys. So there are a lot of sort of smoothie companies out there. So do you find that because you guys offer this range of flavors that, again, like you're saying, is so low calorie, low sugar, that you're able to attract a different market or expand your market as a result compared to the other protein smoothie brands out there?
Yeah. So what they don't have typically is that this is a meal. So they might go to those places, and a lot of them are loaded with sherbet ice cream, a lot of sugar. And then if you want protein, you're paying extra, and you're only getting like the add-ons at one place is 13 grams of protein. And 13 grams is nothing. It's not enough for you. So what happens with us is people who come into us, whether they see us on Google or a friend tells them to come in and they try it, and they're like, wow, I've been getting it at such and such a place. And the number one is it doesn't taste good. It's like they know they want to become healthier, and they know they want to make a choice. But typically in the past, everything has always been, oh, well, if I have to start eating better, I've got to drink or eat something that doesn't taste very good, but I'm going to choke it down because I want to become healthier. Well, we have, our whole spectrum of people that come in are the parents will bring their kids in that are 5, 6, 7 years old, all the way up to we have 75 and 80-year-old people come in. Well, because we're open to the entire market. It's not limited to any certain group of, just 30-year-olds or people who are doing yoga every day. Great for all of them. But all of the choices that they have, like, it's really exciting to be able to sit behind the counter, hand somebody something where their 7 or 8-year-old kid, they get a birthday cake and they got a couple of little sprinkles on top, which might add 15 calories. And the kid drinks it because he just thinks it's like an ice cream. And they drink it all. And my grandkids are 8 and 10. And since they have been 3 and 4 years old, when they're 3 and 4, we would split a cup for them and they would both just drink it down, and they couldn't wait to come into town and, go to Papa's place and get a smoothie. So it's a great question, but that's a really big issue. And we know just from what we've seen, we've been doing this for almost 14 years, that when people try it, they're hooked. And the great thing is they're not hooked on one flavor. And what happens though is most people, if they start off with a salted caramel, they just literally get that for months and months and they just don't change. But we also, every time we're blending, we always have these little 2-ounce cups, kind of like at Costco when you get the samples, and everybody loves the samples. And they know when the blenders are blending and they come up front and they go, what are you making there? What's that one? What's that one? We just give them samples. Well, once they try other samples, they're like, oh, I've been getting a salted caramel forever, but this peanut butter banana chocolate is really good. And then they switch. So they're not stuck on one flavor the whole time. And we can enhance those. Like the coffee ice cream we make, you can do it with or without caffeine. You can add, a lot of people they'll get the salted caramel and they'll go, I'm going to try some coffee in that one. And then we get ideas from them because when they do it, we try it and I go, oh my God, that's really good. And then now we always make those offers to people.
Daniel, Ethan, my question is along the same line. I'm a gym buff. I've been bodybuilding for the last 30 plus years and I love my protein. But again, at what point did it take that to know the exact protein level? You said 32 grams, like how
35.
35. How was that the sweet spot without ruining the taste and making a little more chalky? Because I know I'll like put 2 scoops in and it tastes terrible in my current protein, but I just down it because I want my protein levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to answer that one?
Yeah. I mean, we also have a large size that's 32 ounces and it's 50 grams of protein. So the 35 to 50 grams is that really good threshold of what your body can really digest per given hour. So 35 is also just, it kind of like beats out all the competition at our base price of shake. So our 20 ounce is the 35 grams minimum, and that's $9. So it's really attractive just to get that much protein for $9, and it tastes really good. But I do the big one as well sometimes for when I feel really good when I do the big one for its breakfast and lunch. I don't feel heavy during the day, and then I just eat like a huge dinner. So that's what I like to do a lot. Mm-hmm. And then we both add creatine. We have healthy add-ons as well, which probably like 40% of our customers get 1 or 2, every time.
Yeah. And creatine's such a big thing. And that's making a comeback just like protein is, because creatine, like we've taken it for years, everybody does 5 grams, and the more and more and more, like I'm this nerd and I just love to just study every day. And I think that I learned a lot about creatine. And then the very next day I go, oh, I didn't know creatine was a peptide. It's a tripeptide. Well, no wonder it's so good for the body, because we've always been with the understanding that creatine is just for gym rats, right? They just want to get big or build lean muscle. It'll do that. But creatine is an energy booster. That's what it is, more than anything. So when you take creatine, and I do a lot more than 5 grams, the older you get, you need more creatine. If you work out, you need more creatine. But creatine, because it's an energy booster, and it's the number one thing that we add on, and it's also the number one thing we mention. So, like, for example, if you walked in, we'd say, oh, how you doing? We'll tell you all the top flavors, and you get to look at the board. And there's like, we put the top 8 up there for pictures so that people can go, oh, I want that one, or I want that one. And then the very next question is, you want regular or large? Regular is 20 ounce. The large is 32 ounce. And then the next question is, do you want creatine? I'm surprised, and not at the same time, how many people, first of all, they'll go, well, I don't know, do I need it? And I go, yeah, you need it. And then we have it on the board. Here's the bullet points on what creatine does. So creatine feeds the mitochondria. So what happens is when you feed the mitochondria, which is all of our energy, that's your life source. That's your energy every day. When you feed the mitochondria, what happens is the mitochondria produces this thing called ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. That's your energy. And it does that from creatine. The brain consumes a tremendous amount of creatine. So you could be in front of the computer all day, never even go to the gym yet, haven't exercised, and you're exhausted. You're like, why am I so exhausted? because the brain uses so much creatine that it's more than what we're bringing in unless you're supplementing with it. And the more you supplement, surprisingly, it is also the number one most peer-reviewed and studied supplement out there. It's the most bang for the buck. It's super reasonable. It's very inexpensive. So creatine, we definitely push that because I think it's the greatest thing for everybody to take.
It's good.
And you do get energy from it. You want to know one other thing about creatine that I learned? So say you have a bad night's sleep. We all have those. First thing in the morning, you put 5 grams of creatine in whatever you're drinking, first thing in the morning, and watch how fast the body resets. It is remarkable how fast you're like, oh, I don't feel that tired right now, even though I woke up 3 times. We try it and watch what happens in your day.
Should have done it this morning.
See?
I know. Well, and I learned all this stuff.
Diet Coke.
Well, every day I
Can
feel
you
like I
put
learn
creatine
more.
in the Diet Coke?
I don't know. That's fine. I'll do anything.
Well, and I drive everybody crazy at work because I go, oh my God, I just learned this about creatine today, and I thought I already knew a bunch about it. And so they're always getting information. I drive them crazy on that stuff.
Daniel, Ethan, so, we see a lot of franchises. I'll say this is one that really has me excited right now. Just seems like the right thing at the right time. We were talking about before we started the podcast. I move around a lot, work remote for weeks at a time. And I take one thing from my kitchen every time I travel as my blender. I love my smoothies, but I'm so curious about the taste. And friends make fun of me. I have my frozen banana bowl. I have my peanut butter, and it tastes great. I bet my average smoothie is 600-700 calories. Yeah. They're high protein milkshakes, and I love them. So when I hear this, right, and I look at the reviews, for your locations in Arizona, people are raving about the flavor, raving about the taste. That's clearly you're doing something right here. And then you're saying they're 200, 300 calories most. I'm mixing with water and ice. Like, without sharing the secrets, I mean, how are you creating something that tastes this good, at that macro level?
So there's 2 parts. The protein base is whether we use vanilla or chocolate that we have that is proprietary. That will be the base for it that already has all of the protein in it, all the vitamins, all the minerals, the low carbs, the high fiber. That's in place. What we've been able to do is on the other side is, and this took a long time to get these powdered flavorings done. And the reason we chose powder instead of just a squirt of a stevia or something is because it's much more controllable. You have people work in the shop and they might put a whole eyedropper in of caramel or something like that. And you can't have the consistency. So once we started creating all these flavors, and we have right now about 18 flavorings, from butterscotch to caramel to birthday cake, banana cream pie, chocolate, vanilla, all these different flavors, peppermint, almond, butter pecan. And over the years, we've just figured out which ones make it taste better. So a lot of people will come in and they'll go, well, we make basic shakes in the sense that I don't mean basic. What I mean is if they get a blueberry cheesecake, we don't make that super sweet. However, regulars will go, hey, you know what? I just want mine sweeter. Or other people like, no, it's perfect just how it is. So you have the ability in every location to amp up things. And there are those people that, like, we tell people up front, we'll say, hey, if you want something that tastes sweeter, then you're going to want to go with the salted caramel. It just tastes like there's a lot of sugar. It tastes like there's a lot, but there's not. Or if they say, no, I don't really want sweet, I just want regular, then we're going to put them into the banana peanut butter chocolate, or we're going to put them into the strawberry cheesecake or the blueberry cheesecake. And those are great. They're really good flavors, but they're not overly sweetened. But the great thing is every single franchisee has the ability to enhance any of those flavors.
I'm so excited that we're sending a Florida potential franchisee to come visit you guys. Maybe
thank you,
because we need this right now.
Yeah. Everybody does. It really does. And there's not a lot of options out there that are low calorie, high protein, that blends with water and ice. There just isn't. Most everything, they have to add milks or oat milk or something like that. And then every time you do that, you are adding a lot more calories to it and unnecessary ingredients. And it did take a while, but we finally got it all nailed down. And I'm excited for you guys to all try the flavors because it's nothing that it's not like we have to sell you on a flavor. When you try it, you're like, wow, I can't believe that tastes so good. It's unbelievable.
Well, I'm very excited about this as well. And I just want to say my son is 10. So just like your
Oh, that's a great age.
It's a great age, but he's very serious about his 3 sports. He's very busy. My husband's over 6'4". He's very tall. So my kids are tall. My son's going to be my height by July, guaranteed.
It probably will.
I know. I'm constantly looking for that extra something for him because he's always hungry. I mean, that's a lot of sports. His metabolism is like just crazy off the charts. So I go to the smoothie places, but I hate the sugar. I'm going and getting a milkshake with the burger, with the fries, with the apples, and like whatever I can do. But I feel lost sometimes. Like I just am out of options. Muscle milk, you know, he tries different things off the shelf. He doesn't like those. I feel like I would be the repeat customer and I would be there every single day with my son. But what I love about what you're doing is beyond him getting what he needs to be this little mini athlete that he is, it's the educational part. I mean, we all on this podcast are very aware of health and wellness now, but this newer generation is really picking up on what the parents are saying and listening to the adults. And my son does turn protein bars around and he looks at how much protein's in it and how much sugar and like that. He'll still eat it regardless, but he's paying more attention, which I love. And I am not a really big sweet tooth type of person. So hearing that you have some of these other flavors for someone like me coming in, where my son's probably going to go for the sweet one, I would rather go for like the cheesecake flavors. I think that would be more my cup of tea. Yeah. But my main question for you, outside of being so excited for this, and I can't wait for it to one day hopefully be in California so I can run down the street. What did you do marketing wise? Because you're like the top protein place in Scottsdale. I just told both my sisters-in-law to come try your smoothies immediately, and so they'll eat it.
Thank you.
Yep. But aside from word of mouth, and I'm not a big marketing person, so with my Soccer Stars franchise, I need the entire marketing corporate team behind me every single week. I have to have it. I just don't have the bandwidth to think about marketing. What have you done that's made you so successful other than word of mouth? What kind of marketing did you do?
You want to answer?
Yeah. So we're huge on social media. So we're doing TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff every single day. Because you can post for free. And then also we'll do like really cheap targeted demographics in our area. Another good thing is we reached out to some customers that, you know, had a lot of following. And like we had one girl that posted about the banana cream pie. And then we just, you know, did a little deal with her. And literally for months, there was tons of people coming in and say, oh, I saw a TikTok about banana cream pie. So there's stuff like that we're really big on. So our franchise.
That's like one of my employees. I was just thinking, one of my coaches told me that she walked across the stage for her graduation on a TikTok and got 80 million views or something. Oh, so wow. I immediately hit her up, just like you found a customer. Yeah. Anybody that already figured out their market and how many people that can view them. I think every franchisee should be leaning into that a lot more. So I'm glad to hear you're doing that.
And our franchisees can utilize all the stuff we post, so they don't have to worry about, I got to do this every single day. So that takes a lot of pressure off, you know.
And the funny thing he was telling about the one girl, what happened was it was about almost 2 years ago, and she'd come all through high school. And then she goes off to college, and we didn't even know she was doing this video. So she gets a banana cream pie, and she goes and sits in her car in the parking lot. And she just starts talking about it. She goes, yeah, you know, this place I came to, she's doing this, drinking the whole time. And then it was literally like you would pay to script it. It was so perfect. I couldn't believe it that we didn't know anything about it. So she starts talking about how great it was and how fun. She came all through high school, and she'd come more now, but she's in college and she can't drive that far. But she goes, if you're ever in the area, you got to try it. My favorite one's banana cream pie. And she just goes on and on. Then all of a sudden, and we didn't know she posted it, she got like 68,000 views. That's a lot. So all of a sudden people started coming in, and we know who's new because we're all word of mouth for the most part anyway at where we're at. And so people would just come in and I'd say, oh, how'd you hear about us? You know, I talk with people and all the kids do. And she goes, oh, I saw something on TikTok. And I'm like, at that time I go, I haven't posted anything on TikTok lately, so I'm trying to figure out what it was. And I go, well, what was it? She goes, I don't know. It's about a banana cream pie. All year, people kept coming in just from that one. So within a month or so, I'm like, what's going on? I told our manager, I said, hey, dig into this and find out what happened. And they found her, and she'd been a customer for years. So of course, I said, thank you very much. Here's some free shakes. We really appreciate that. Because, someone could post the opposite if they're unhappy. So I just think that social media, and I'm still learning a ton about it. I just think it's so powerful for such a very low cost, even sometimes free if you just do it yourself. It's the greatest return on telling people about your product, because everybody wants to follow a story. They don't want to go, this says this or this. I mean, that's okay occasionally, but everybody wants to follow a story. And like when you were saying with your 10-year-old, the reason they get hungry is because they're eating a lot of carbs, which go up and down, and they're not getting the balance of a good amount of protein. Because protein, if you think of protein as, if you put a pine log on a fire, of course it burns pretty quick. You put an oak log, think of that as protein, it'll burn for hours, and the body will digest it, and it'll take time, and it starts feeding the body. And that's why you feel fuller longer. And so you can literally do 3 main things with a shake. You can maintain weight, you could lose weight, and you can build muscle. You can accomplish all 3 of those. I don't know of other places out there that offer that. So that's one reason that once they try it, and I can't wait till you guys all try it, and then they go, oh my God, that's so good. I want to try the next flavor. Or I want to try another one. But typically when they start with the flavor, they just stick to that flavor. We're all creatures of habit. I just want to know, I'm going to have the coffee ice cream. I already know how good it's going to taste. So I'm going to get the same thing.
Hey guys, can we
shift
gears?
I can't wait to try it already. We're talking about it.
I wish I could give you one to try.
Yeah, no, I wish. I had a question, but also a thought. So I'm super excited. I think you guys are onto something that's just gonna blow up. Just that perfect intersection of a great amount of protein, and it sounds like some people can use this as meal replacement on certain days, but also the flavor. I've got a son as well that plays soccer, and there's a smoothie place not far from his soccer facility, and they offer protein. I've tried it twice in a year. The flavors were not that great. I've not been back since. So I'm that kind of customer. Now I consume protein shakes every day, and I double down on days where I work out, but I'm very active as well. So what happens to me is sometimes after working out middle of the day, I'm not going to get to my protein shake till the end of the day. So I get hungry, and I probably take an unhealthy sandwich somewhere. So that, because I'm hungry, and then, so it kind of screws things up. So I can totally see how if there was a HB smoothie location nearby where I was at, I could just easily drink this and feel great after and get my protein needs. So my question is, you're obviously going to have customers like myself, but I'm curious to see, and I know we touched on this a little bit, but are you seeing just a wide range of people come in, like older folks, kids, not just like health and wellness buffs? Because I know those are going to be like a big fraction of who comes into your stores. But
yeah, it's all ages because everyone needs protein. So that's why it's a fantastic business, because it doesn't matter if you're 8 years old or the lady that comes in that's 80. So, everyone needs protein every day. And you can switch it up, and it's not like you're getting the same chicken sandwich or, stuff like that every day.
And I think also, like, especially with the kids, 10, 12, whatever, they don't really think, oh, I'm drinking. Well, some might, like your daughter might, or your son might, but they don't think of, oh, this is high protein. I'm going to drink it because I know it's good for me. They come in because the taste is good and they feel really good. And we're right next to a hockey place, and there's a hockey rink right up the street from us. And we get a lot of the hockey kids in there, a lot of the boys that come in, and they just make it a regular, because the great thing is you can drink this and they can go play hockey and they don't feel weighed down, and they got this steady burning fuel for the next several hours in their body. And yeah, their metabolism's a lot higher, so they might come in later on and get another one. But even if they have one a day, like we're in a business area, and we'll have a lot of people for lunch, they'll just walk down the street and they'll come over and they'll get one of these every day during the week. And then they'll come back and say, I didn't do anything different. All I did was for lunch, I had one of these. And I did it for a whole month and I lost like 8 pounds, and that's all I did. And I said, well, that makes sense because you're feeding the body a really good amount of nutrition and you're giving it a lot of protein. The other two things we have that people really like is we make a 32-ounce energy drink. And the energy drink is a very clean 75 milligrams of caffeine. It's enhanced with electrolytes and it's loaded with vitamins and minerals. It's sugar-free. They're great flavors. They're like cucumber, watermelon, there's Sour Patch, these different kind of flavors. So it's a much healthier energy drink. The other thing that we have as a grab and go, because we're just very streamlined, very simple, is we have these protein balls that are very nutritiously dense. They're all vegan. They're all gluten-free, and they'll have maybe 4 or 5 grams of protein in a ball at the very most, but they'll be like peanut butter with a little bit of chocolate on top, or they'll just be a birthday cake flavor or whatever. And people will take those and they do, like, literally, they're amazing. Like, you almost eat them like candy, but they're so nutritiously dense. After you eat 2, again, you're satisfied because you brought in a lot of really good product into the body, and it's a great healthy snack. So the really cool thing with what we have as a model is there are just 3 choices of 3 main items, but in those categories, we have a lot of variety to choose from. So they're not stuck to just a peanut butter ball. Maybe they want a birthday cake ball, or maybe they want a coconut ball, or whatever else we end up making. We do like Christmas time, we made a big peanut butter ball. We put a little bit of white sprinkles on it and some white icing, and we just called it a snowball. And it's only there for the month. And then they know when they come in and try it, it's the same thing. They'll come back and they'll grab 3 or 4, and then they take them home, put them in the refrigerator, and they'll eat it first thing in the morning because they may not be able to come into the smoothie shop and get something. But good job you're doing protein.
So last week we had Jen Kane from the Ultimate Humanity Center, which is the new Gary Brecka, Tony Robbins franchise that's going to be launched here soon. Now we have you guys on. For all of you listening, look at how the market is really now gravitating towards wellness. And you look at what happened with Kennedy flipping the food pyramid upside down. We're no longer prioritizing the carbs and the wheat and all this stuff. I mean, I have a picture. I'm going to do a post here on LinkedIn in the next week. Jill and I at one point were advised by our doctor to double down on oatmeal.
Oh, God.
And this picture of us back in 2021, we are larger versions of ourselves. And, she told me, she says, okay, maybe you can have a steak once, every quarter or something like that. And I started reading up on all this stuff, and I started prioritizing protein. We got rid of the oatmeal, come back a year later, literally 30 pounds lighter and cholesterol 30 points lower by doubling down on healthy fats, healthy meats, more smoothies with high protein. So all of this stuff it's very timely, and it's science, like you said. So for all of you that are thinking about, what you might do, what I love about this is we talk so much about boring businesses being great investments. But I really do think anything wellness related is also a great investment. All you have to do is look at like a tropical smoothie cafe. And I don't think we need to say anything on this podcast to disparage them, but they may not be my first choice. But if you look at their item 19 and what their top 50% of franchisees make, smoothies is a really, really smart sector to be in. And what you guys are doing, focusing on high protein, man, I just think it's so needed, so cool. I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to see these things opening up all over the country, which I think we're all going to see here in the next 6 months. So for all of you listening and you've been kind of waiting on the sidelines, thinking about that franchise that maybe you didn't want to get into a junk removal or a roofing franchise, and this feels more your speed, you definitely are going to want to text us at 305-710-0050 or visit thefranchiseinsiders.com, because I just have a feeling that this one will not be available long. Brian, I know you had a question.
Yeah, can we shift gears a little bit? We work with a lot of people looking at franchises, but we hear a lot, hey, anything but food. I don't want to deal with the kitchen. I don't want the big 10, 15 staff, hourly employees. That's, a lot of nightmares in that space. So can you all talk a little bit about just the operations, what it looks like in the store, And also maybe hit a little bit too. You talked about some of the customizations, about just how you keep, kind of the brand taste integrity from store to store.
Yeah. So you typically only need a couple people on a shift at a time. I mean, in a perfect world, when you grow it in certain times of the day, you'll get more busy, then great. You're throwing another person into the mix. The really nice thing is just like your equipment package, you're talking blenders, an ice machine, you're talking a freezer, a refrigerator, you're going to build a counter. You'll have a 3-compartment sink to wash your stuff and a hand wash sink. There's no grease traps. There's no ventilation needed. There's none of the hoods, none of that very expensive stuff that you need. It is really streamlined to be able to operate the business. Everybody, when we look for employees, for example, we're really big about if someone's grateful, if someone's kind, if they're nice. Those are the people we're much more interested in bringing on, because that's what we are like, and that's what we want for customers to come in. We want you to feel comfortable, just like if you came in my house. And that's why, like Ethan was saying, we do the environment where it's really nice inside and it's comfortable. The aesthetics will fit the location. We're big about having like games in there, Connect Four, chessboards, things like that. You don't really get any of that at any fast food place. We don't care if people sit there for hours. What happens is people will come in, like say you're in town and you're always coming in and you have to do a meeting. You'll bring them into our store and you'll say, well, let's just go meet here. I'm going to take a smoothie place and we can sit and do Wi-Fi and we can sit on the little couch in the corner and meet. And that's been really good for our business, because I think when you have a comfortable environment, that when people walk in, and that's what they always say, when you come in, I just like the vibe here. I like this. And we continually get better and better, and we streamline more and more. So hopefully that kind of answers it.
Yeah. And just making sure that we learn our regulars' names, small talk a little bit. The biggest thing is prioritizing, welcoming, saying hi when they come in and saying bye. Because any other place that I go to get a burrito or a sandwich, sometimes there's never even like good music, or they don't even welcome you or say thank you. So that's such an important thing that built the customer retention, because we're very thankful that we have so many regulars that literally come in every day. It's really awesome.
I mean,
and then those people bring people. I wanted to say, good job getting off the oatmeal or down from the oatmeal.
Yeah.
Like literally.
That was not a good phase.
No, I mean, and we all thought that, though. We all thought it was healthy, and it spikes the insulin just like sugar or white bread does. It's so not good for you. So good for you.
What you guys are doing is amazing. So our son is 10 also, and he's going to be
another 10-year-old.
Yes. He has not liked one protein shake we have given him, and we've tried them all. So the fact that when we can't wait to try it, that you guys are really pushing the taste, that is huge, because again, there's a lot of kids that are aware. He's very aware of protein. I mean, he knows, he watches us. He just bought the Pop-Tarts with protein. They have like 3 grams of protein.
Right.
So he's trying, but he's at the point where he needs it to taste good. If you give him something that's really healthy. So I'm just so excited, to have this opportunity for kids like him who, are kind of getting into this, but really they want a milkshake. They want a smoothie. They want something that tastes good. So, but I do have a question for you guys. Have you guys ever done anything hot, like a hot drink with protein?
We haven't. I mean, we're open to it, but we never did anything hot. Sometimes people will get like an energy tea without ice or something like that, but
maybe Jill can share.
Jill, we're talking to the people in Dondale.
Online.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it is something, and I know people love, again, especially right now, everyone's freezing, right? It's cold everywhere in Florida. But, that would be interesting too, is that, to really kind of steal some market from some other places that are, selling the hot beverages.
Yeah,
but it is
we definitely could.
I do a hot protein, hot chocolate. So that could be like another thing.
Yeah, we could do that for sure.
Awesome.
Cool. I mean, this is so exciting. Thank you guys for being so generous with your time. Team, do you guys have any last questions or comments?
I think I need to fly to Arizona.
I know.
You do.
Let's go.
We're going. Let's do this. Well, like I said, I know we've got clients who are just, they're actually texting with Dan right now saying, can we come this weekend to talk about Florida? So you guys you're going to have a lot of this.
Yeah,
I'm excited too. I picked up my phone, followed you guys on Instagram, right as you said it.
Thank you.
And I text one of my clients that is looking for something in the wellness space. And I'm excited about it. I might want one soon. So
Thank you. Yeah, and we were so grateful to connect with Dan.
He's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good one. Dan Rowe knows what he's doing. He knows how to spot them. I mean, I look at the success that he had with Pay More, which, by the way, you can't get Pay More anymore. It's sold out. We had a client last year, we got to the last one. It's gone. So he knows what he's doing, and he had success just like our team. He has been a franchisee. And I think this is important for everyone listening as you work with franchise consultants, franchise representatives. I do think a question that's always worth it to ask is, have you owned a franchise before? Have you put your cash into business? Have you had to have a sleepless night trying to figure out how to make payroll? Because this is what's going to help you understand what it's like to actually be a business owner. And that's what our team at the Franchise Insider. So when we bring you guys candidates, when we bring you prospective franchise owners, believe me, we will have stress test them so that they know the realities of business ownership, because nobody here's into telling fairy tales. We want to help people be great owners. You know, it's like Jay and Carolina and I were talking about our finance calculator. We have all of our clients take this calculator, and what it does is it basically says, okay, let's look at all your resources and let's put 12 to 18 months living cash aside as you grow your business. And this now tells you what your investment budget is. So when we bring clients to you guys, they're going to be financially fit. They're going to be smart. They're going to be a good fit for you guys. So we're so grateful for spending time with us. For all of you listening, if you'd like to find out more about HB Protein Smoothies, please do text us. That's the fastest way, 305-710-0050. Also, go to thefranchiseinsiders.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. We'd love it if you'd like us and follow us. And for now, thank you for joining another episode of the We Bought a Franchise podcast. See you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We bought a franchise. We bought a franchise. We bought a franchise.